Hey, welcome back. It's episode 4? Yeah, it's episode 4. I'm Way. Okay. That's Brandon and that's Corey. Thanks, guys.
What's up?
Hey.
So it's been a while.
Say what?
So it's been a while. So let's just go into the topics of to talk about. So I want to start this off with, I guess, this happened a while ago, but I want to talk about the news about Musk ending up bidding for Twitter, buying Twitter, and I guess like the aftermath of Twitter and everything that happened with Twitter. Um, since his takeover as the sole owner. I don't know how much you guys know about it or how much you follow it, but it was really big on news over the last couple months, I guess, or like last year, in regards of like him being the sole owner of it. Um, I don't know if you guys know much about it. Yes, no.
Actually, I didn't really follow it, so I don't really know. Why don't you update me about it?
So okay, I think early last year, Elon Musk wanted he I guess like talked about buying Twitter to fix up Twitter and free speech. And I think originally they thought he was joking, but then he made a bid for it, and I think he bid it about $44 billion. And Twitter actually
Yep.
accepted the bid, right? And then he tried to back out of it because I guess they didn't take him. He didn't think that he was seriously gonna be able to get it.
Really?
Um,
I thought it was his strategy
I
in
don't
order to
know.
get it lower.
No, it was like back and forth.
No.
No,
Yeah, it was well above market value, is what he offered.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why the board was gonna sue him to, so he went back out and stuff because they were like
Mm.
heading towards actually buying. Anyway, either way, it went through. I think after a couple months of like back and forth, he ended up being forced to buy it. He bought it. He basically ended up firing like pretty much everyone on top. He fired the CEO, COO, I think CTO, all the C's. And then from there he just started like firing everyone else. So like I think like the janitor crew is gone. Like I think at least half the workforce is gone. I'm trying to remember. It was like at least half the workforce over the course of like 3 different waves of layoffs. And right now it's like I would say about a fourth maybe of what it was in terms of workforce. And it's just all the changes with Twitter and his the way he's approaching free speech, or I guess how he's like unbanning a bunch of people. Like he unbanned like Donald Trump account. I think some of the controversial accounts that were also banned, like the Kanye account, it was banned, and then he unbanned it, and then he ended up banning it again or something. You guys really haven't been following along with this? It's like one of the biggest social media platforms you guys haven't followed. Yes, no.
No, I don't even use it, but I am for free speech. I mean, I don't think that people should be censored too hard unless it's like criminal.
That's
Well, that's the thing. He's uncensoring, or he's unblocking a lot of people who are, by most definitions, criminal. Some people who aren't, but he's. Yeah, I've been following it pretty unactively, but I am on Twitter, and I have noticed a lot of the dumpster fires that have been going on, which have been hilarious. And the nice that small point in time where they introduced the Twitter Blue or whatever, where you paid eight
yeah.
dollars for a verification check mark,
Oh
which
yeah, that's the only part I kept up with because memes came
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, and people
Yeah.
were tearing
Yeah.
that apart because yeah, it completely defeats the purpose if you could have a verification process that where you're vetted and people know who you are and there's some sort of control to accurately display some sort of control that accurately tells this person is who they claim to be. Instead, you can just pay $8 and it doesn't matter who you are because money now rules the day. But yeah, people were tearing that apart. People were buying subscriptions and calling themselves Elon Musk, and he didn't like that. And
Oh yeah, and they started banning them, which was ironic because it's supposed to be free speech, and yeah, it's like oh no, there was
Yeah.
also he also banned what's it um the Elon Musk jet thing, the Twitter account with the kid.
Yes.
Yeah, that was supposed to be free speech, but he said it was like was it a threat to his public safety or something?
Yeah, which is ridiculous on so many accounts. Like,
Yeah, public
because they
knowledge.
weren't, yeah, they weren't like stalking him or anything. They were literally just using
Public,
government regulated sites that track flights.
yeah, which is
And yeah,
public.
they're pretty much just relaying information that was already out there. But because it made it easier by his definition for people to know his exact location and whereabouts at any time, he got in a hissy fit with that.
Oh, it was doxing. He considered it doxing, which is ironic
Yes,
because
doxing.
he was trying to dox
Sounds like
like
it is.
no, but he was trying to dox like I think the same day he was trying to dox someone else. It's like I think he sent a picture of like some dude who cursed at his family, and it was like trying to find out who this person is, which is
Yeah,
ironic. I forgot it was like yeah.
it's not ironic. It's hypocrisy, is what it is.
Oh yeah,
He's saying
yeah.
you can't do this, but I can do this.
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
And then there was
Or,
like
excuse my French.
no, it's fine. It's I think it's there was also like he blocked a bunch of reporters who were reporting about I guess his doxing attempt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. And then like the website kept going down for some time because he was like trying to push out new updates about the team. A lot of people couldn't get into office to like fix the issue locally. It's such a big dumpster fire, but it's like this is one of our biggest social media platform, and it's
Yeah.
pretty fucked. And yeah, I don't know.
Pretty bad, pretty bad. And I guess like the biggest thing from it is this whole debacle has just trashed his reputation and has even had impacts on Tesla stock. But they're down like over 50% from the past year, and it's crazy how much just buying a social media platform completely just upending all the normal norms and structure that has been built on a social media platform for what, like 10 years. How long has Twitter been around? Like 10 years?
Nah, it should be about 15, 20 now. Close
Oh
to
my
20.
god.
It's almost close to 20. It was like 2005, I think, or 2006 when it came out.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
2006.
It was
Launch.
yeah.
That's when it was launched. Yeah.
2006 was 20 years ago. What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes in and within a year he just freaking lights fires people, just implements new features, takes them away immediately, and in the meantime tanks the stock for that company, takes the stock for his other companies, just pisses off everybody. it's a special type of market maneuver that he's conducted, which I don't know what the end goal here is, but it's not looking good right now. but
No,
it's
yeah, I
fun to
agree.
watch the fire. It's fun to watch from Twitter.
It's fun, but it sucks because that Twitter's like it's going down. Well, it was going downward.
Yeah.
I think it sucks because like there's like everyone's trying to find alternative just in case if Twitter completely collapsed on itself. There was like the
Donald Trump's Twitter.
oh yeah, no, that was
Through
unblocked, but he's not using
social.
it anymore.
No. I mean, wasn't Donald Trump making one that's like
Truth
kind of
Social.
free speeches?
Yeah, free
Truth
no,
Social. Yeah.
Yeah,
Truth
but
Social, yeah.
that wasn't really free speech. I think they still block people on that one too. I forgot what it was, but no.
Only if that free speech is left leaning, okay? So you still have free speech. It's still free speech as long as you say things that they like.
What Trump likes.
Exactly.
No,
Easy.
there was like new ones that were coming up. There was a bunch of different ones. I don't remember what it was, but
Mastodon.
Mastodon was
4chan.
one. There was one that was it's not 4chan. There was one that was like decentralized. I forgot what it was. There was one.
Yeah, Mastodon.
was it?
Mastodon.
I thought it was
Yeah,
something
that's
else,
the
yeah.
decentralized ones where somehow it makes it even more of a social bubble. Like from the get-go, I think you sign on and you have to choose your interests, and you'll only get posts associated with those interests from the start, which is it feels like it's a contradiction to the whole point of having an open social network. But I guess that's what it's all about, right? Decentralizing it, just having multiple centers instead of one center.
I think
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah, I don't know. You can try to. I'm on the boat. I'm on the Titanic here with Twitter, and I'm there for the long ride.
With Twitter. Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on until this thing sinks.
I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, it sucks as what's Twitter become, but it's entertaining. Um, it's definitely a shitstorm. Okay,
Oh, he's got Facebook.
I mean, yeah. No, hell no. Actually, that's one that I'm talking topic for later. About Facebook.
Okay.
Well, I guess with talking about Tesla stock, right? I wanted to talk about the next topic, which is I guess crypto and the stock over the last year. So with I guess the war and I guess everything that happened post like pandemic. Well, we're still technically in the pandemic, but I think like
War? What war?
yeah, I mean yeah, no war, of course, but no war.
There's no war bossing, say.
Oh yeah, okay. No, but in the last year, like you saw how everything started crashing, right? Crypto all went down, like I think like 75%. Stocks plummeted like half, I think. I don't remember, 40%, 30% below. I think right now we're still technically below. So like I guess for the finance, the economy wise, we're we were heading close to a recession. People that expected it to be a recession. Sorry, and
I think we're in one right now.
I don't know. Do you consider this a recession?
I mean,
And
20%
yeah.
down is a recession.
It's felt like we've been in a recession for quite a minute here. It's just it's not getting better. But yeah, I agree with the whole crypto. Even with the crypto crashes that have been going on, it's felt like everything's been devalued. I mean, we passed the euro not a little while ago. The dollar passed the euro, which is unheard of. Or was it the pound? No, either way. But yeah, just stocks just feel like they're dropping like mass casualties. Freaking mortgage rates are in the 7%. It's bad, man. It's bad. And yeah, definitely the crypto thing had somewhat effect because people were putting money in like crazy, just being like, "Hey, this feels a lot more secure than what our current markets are, and maybe I can actually have some savings to look forward to in the future." And that's just not happening. It's bad.
I don't know if you consider crypto a savings though.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's like a speculation right now.
What do you mean
Yeah.
speculation?
Huh?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning could possibly be something, could possibly not be something. It's like gambling.
How's that different?
It's like gambling.
So wouldn't it fall closer in line with stocks compared to like actual savings account with fixed rate? So why would you, what
Well,
like
but those aren't real. Like savings, like for the normal people, middle class and below, a savings account isn't really any type of growth. When you have a percent on a percent, you can go fuck yourself. That doesn't mean anything when we have inflation at 3.5%. My savings account gives me 0.03%. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
You mean
All right.
0.01?
Yeah, 0.01.
Most of them are 0.01.
Thanks, Wells Fargo.
Well, that's because
No.
you use the regular 1.01. I mean, to be fair, the one I have, like the savings account I have, I think 3% right now. So
That's crazy.
You sure it's not 0.03?
It's 3% right now. Like three.
No, it's like a credit union, right?
No,
Yeah.
It's the online one.
Oh wow. Okay.
I told you guys. I think I told you. It's like what's it? Marcus Bank or something. Marcus Savings Bank.
Right.
Well,
that's amazing and that's great. And people need, but that's part of it, right? Like as we move to more digital things, like digital markets, digital banking, digital money, cryptocurrency, people are trying to figure out which one. Yeah, right. They're trying to figure out what they think could better help them to actually save. Because 3% rate, that's fantastic. That feels like an actual savings account where I'm not losing value. I'm actually sustaining the hard work that I put in to earn my money, and it's not losing value at freaking 3% per year. it's matching. So that's good.
Well, no, with inflation, the last 2 years, it's 3% below inflation.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
but
It
it's
went
better
up.
than 0% gains. 3% is better than a 0%
It's like
gain. Is what I'm saying.
0.05. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
0.05.
Yeah, one of my banks is
It's
still 0.05. It's ridiculous.
ugh,
But
it's
the other one is
stupid.
like 3. So the 3 one, you definitely see a difference. No, but I'm like,
It's
sorry,
No, I
what?
was just gonna say it's just crazy because you'll get a loan from a bank and you'll be in the percentage points, but when you give your money to a bank for savings, you're giving them a loan. You are giving them a loan. It just doesn't make sense why you don't get the same percent on that loan you're giving them than they would charge you. Um,
Because they're doing the
just seems
service.
Yeah, it's the same service. It's just in the opposite direction.
Yeah, but
It's
they're doing the service. You're not. Oh, yes, no, I don't know. Is that?
Yeah,
Is it?
I got you.
I mean, see them as the actual store doing it. They're the one lending it out. It's not like you're directly lending it out to the like customer.
But
They're
you
finding.
are. You're giving them your worth, your money. You're lending them your money until you take it back to spend it how you will.
and
It's
that's why you should put your money elsewhere.
That's
Like the
exactly why you should put your
mattress?
money on
Like where else?
crypto.
No, where else right
No,
now?
crypto coins, Bitcoin, Shiba coin,
Real
Doja
estate.
coin. Yes.
You be the one making the deal. That's why there's owner financing.
Not everyone has that kind of money to fucking dump into fucking real estate. I
Yes,
don't
real
think
estate.
we're talking about people.
7% mortgage rates.
That's what you could charge if you have a home for owner finance. They pay you directly instead of the bank.
Not everyone has a home though. Like own a home. Sorry, not everyone owns a home. So how they gonna? Like you can't just say like broadly like everyone has like a property to rent out. Like why else would
Well,
other people do
I feel
small
like
investments?
majority of the people, if they start spending it on like goods, not and
Like
services, then they probably would.
yeah, of course. Fuck having a life, having a hobby.
Yeah, fuck having a Lamborghini and a
So how
good
many
looking
people do
car.
you know fucking drives a Lamborghini?
No, and I've not met one yet.
Then why would you use that as an example? I'm talking about people like in the normal like middle class. Like
I don't know.
people.
I drive my very old car and I look around and everybody else has a very nice car
But it's not
in the
Lambo.
last few years. It's not Lambo, but heck, have you seen the prices for a regular sedan these days? Sheesh.
It's still
Me
cheaper
started.
than Tesla.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
I think that yeah, they're all still a lot cheaper than Tesla. Like we're not talking about fucking 200K Lambos. Like what Brandon's saying. But
I'm just exaggerating, man.
nah,
Yeah,
you
66%
were
of
saying
Americans own a home. Oh wow, a lot.
66%. Where's
Just
it quoting it? Where are you quoting this from?
that's where I'm trying to find it. Right now I'm on simpleinsurance.com, but I really want to cite on that
I
value.
don't believe
I
it.
feel like that's hyperinflated. There's no way 66% of Americans own a home.
Yeah,
I think
really
so.
Maybe there's
The zebra.com says 64%.
Where are
How
these
are
getting
you
these
get?
numbers from?
How are you getting? Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't believe it.
Why how's that not believable?
Well, for one, if you have a four-person
Two-thirds?
family,
So you're saying
Uh-huh.
every
if you
two?
have, let's say you have mom and dad, two children, whatever. So, and they have one home. I don't see that as two people owning a home. I see that as an American owns a home. So I feel like the numbers may be conflated there. They're claiming that this one home is owned by two people, so therefore two people. That'd be 50% right there. That'd be 50% of Americans own the home. The children don't own the home, but they're probably accounting for all four of them owning that home. I feel like that number is way inflated. There's no way. And I don't even know that many people who own a home versus have to rent. Like a majority of my inner circle at my age.
If you think about it,
Unfortunately.
that's only 215,000 people that own a home, and I think that's believable across America.
Million, 250.
Million. My bad, million.
No, I believe that number. Yeah, it's totally.
My bad.
That's wow. But yeah, I don't know. That seems high. That seems high.
I
I don't.
really don't believe two thirds of the I guess American is American or is it for the
Yeah, it'd
world?
be 2/3.
It's Americans, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see
it'd be
2/3
2/3.
owning a home, dude.
That's crazy, really.
Especially with like some landlord owning multiple, like we're talking about hundreds of properties. I just don't see I just don't see
Wow,
it happening.
I must be poorer than I thought.
Me
Like,
too.
yeah, nah, like even in New York, that doesn't even make sense. We have so many apartments here. Like, there's no way each person owns each apartment. It's like one landlord owns like hundreds of apartments here. I just don't see it happening.
Mhm.
I don't. Even in the Midwest, there's like a lot of empty houses. Like we're talking about like whole cities with abandoned houses. Like they don't
But
own
they're
those.
still owned. They're still owned. It's under someone's name. They just owe money on it.
Not if they're abandoned, right?
I don't know. If they're abandoned, you still have to trace it back to who it was.
Maybe okay. Okay, I can now see this. I'm kind of figuring. I think that's what they're doing. They're taking like the whole family unit. Every single person in that family technically lives in their home. So it's counting children for one, which that bumps up the number pretty much. And I guess you got to think of half of America is not city centric. They don't live in cities, and pretty much everybody who doesn't live in a city probably owns their own home and doesn't rent.
I
It
mean,
just still it seems high.
yeah.
But yeah,
think it's
I
high.
guess that could work. I guess for those people, for that 66%, they could use their home as an asset, and they could
No, like
pretty much
no.
give loans off of that.
So how do you rent it out? It's like you have a family like living in a fucking like a farmland, right? They're not gonna
Oh yeah, you
fucking
sublet that shit. No, you got a barn. You fucking get a loft in the barn. You freaking add a TV up there, a pot. They're good to go. Freaking
Plus,
rent
it's a
that.
barn. You have land. You could sell the land or loan out the land.
Get one of those mini
Rent out.
houses,
Yeah.
little box things that you'd have just dropped off by Amazon, and they just set it up.
what the
Small
hell?
homes, mini homes. What is it? Box. What is Amazon doing?
Tiny homes.
Nah, I mean tiny homes, but even regardless, it's like
Yeah, the tiny homes. Yeah, man, you got acres and acres. Just get a tiny home installed. And
I don't
freaking
know, man. You really think
bed
there's
and
a market for
breakfast.
people who wants to live in the in the farmland?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you gotta think about it though. Ever since like 2021 to 2022, a lot of people has been working from home now. So like that's
Yeah.
a big appeal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
People.
dude, you got land, you got a small home to yourself. You don't have to drive to the city. I feel sorry for
Yeah.
you.
I
Yep. Get away from
still
traffic. Don't look at other people. I don't want to see other people's
no.
faces anymore since 2020.
I know.
Man, let me go buy a house and just work out of there. Ugh.
How is this relating to the pumping
The crypto markets.
the crypto market and the bad stock market?
I don't know. It's something dealing with the question you asked about something.
If you really want to know how it relates to it,
Yeah.
this is how this relates. Yeah, it's a horrible question. How it relates is, I guess people will start thinking about just saving, not investing in the speculative markets. Therefore, if people aren't investing in the speculative markets, those are starting to crash a lot more often. So they're saving money to buy these homes, which they now have to spend more time in because of, well, they don't have to, but they want to spend more time in because of the increased prevalence of work at home options. So that hurts. If people aren't spending money on commodities and, just frivolous things, then a lot of the stocks are going to suffer because, let's be honest, most of those are based on bullshit, things people don't need. That's just the stock market in and of itself. There's no reason for it. It's just people spending money speculatively to potentially make earnings on companies that just don't need to fucking exist.
Well,
That's my take on it.
Well, like okay, so with both the stock market and crypto being down right now, how do you guys like? How you guys feel about investing and I guess trying to save for the future?
No financial advisor or anything.
I mean,
but
I'm not asking for financial advice. I mean, I'm saying how you feel about your own like.
Stocks and bonds. Bonds. No.
I don't do bonds, but I mean, I still buy now. I mean, I don't buy like a lot.
But are you hurting? Is it hurting you?
I don't really care if it hurts me, kinda.
So
I
you telling
should.
me? So you telling me right now with the stock being down and crypto being down, it's not hurting you right now?
Financially, no.
Retirement got hit. Whoever's
Yeah, the
whatever.
older
Yeah.
generation, yeah, hit the hardest. They're stuck between whether they should sell their real estate now or not because prices are
Oh,
starting to drop.
But
Yeah,
you say real estate like everyone has their property. I think that's how we got there.
old people. Yeah,
66%. All right, has
Yeah.
property.
because like if they don't sell it now, then they might end up losing their savings for the rest of their life.
Oh no, I have to sell my second home that I
Yeah,
bought for 2 pennies and a donkey back in 1970.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
cheap.
probably accurate too.
What about the other 34%? The people who don't have property, huh?
Fuck them.
I know, man. They pay rent.
No,
That's why I'm getting my rent. I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
No, I feel that's horrible because yeah, they're renting. They've already been renting. If their income isn't, if they're not getting raises and whatnot, and if they're renting, they probably aren't
Yeah.
investing in stocks and crypto and all that. So, and if they were, well, they just got double-edged sword because they just lost value in savings, and now they're even further away from being able to purchase their own house if that's what they wanted, or they're
I,
further away from retirement.
I
It's
think in the long run, either way, as long as you invest a little bit, uh, let's just say 10% of whatever you make, that goes a long way because in the long run, the market always still continually go up. Does that make sense? So like there's ups and downs, but in a long year, like let's say 50 year, it will continually go up. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
it's
the
like,
market, but not your individual investments. While the market might keep going up, those individual investments could just freaking tank if you don't know when to switch them.
well, I
And
mean,
as you said,
that's part of the responsibility though, is it not?
yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah. But if you do your due diligence and you keep it going for a long run, then I think that in the end you still come out on top.
Well, when you say in the end, when is the end, huh? Is it like
Well,
a
it
year
depends
from
for
now?
you. For me, it's when I'm 50. I have a
50.
yeah.
50?
I have one where it set me up for when I'm 50, and then I have one that sets me up for when I'm 32, 33. So you have to have like don't put your fruits in one basket. That's what they say, or whatever.
Mm,
And so
As
I have like different strategies in order to set me up for when I'm this old and from when that old. Because the earlier one is higher risk because you have to risk high and it could flop. And if it flops, then I still have my backup plan for 50. And
okay.
that one is it's not really a high risk high reward because I'm not throwing a whole bunch of money into it and hoping that it works. Does that kind of make sense?
I'm still taken aback by this whole "you think you're retiring at 50" sort of thing.
I'm still confused. Yeah. No. Elaborate if you can.
On which part?
All of it.
Okay, so right now real estate sucks. You know, real estate's going down, interest rates high. People can't really buy homes past the 300s. But then there's a big demand because there's not enough homes. Then for me, investing in real estate kind of scary. You know, everybody's running away from it because interest rates are high and no one can really afford. But if you know the market, which earlier I said there's old people that are considering selling because of inflation and interest rates and home prices dropping, interest rate increasing, obviously. Then you could craft a deal with them somehow and come up on top and help them out, but you help yourself out too. And so that's a little risky because that means that home prices right now could still continue to go down. We don't know if they keep increasing interest rates, it will. But then again, we are stuck on this news that we got stimmy checks, right? So stimmy checks might come out again, stimmy 2.0 for this year. And if it does, then it could possibly boom the market up again briefly. Then if I did invest in real estate, then I'll that's good for me. But then the bigger risk is that or the news out there is that home prices are coming down. So if I invest in it, then if I believe that news, then I will lose money. So there's that big risk and reward kind of aspect where do I listen to the news or do I look at the statistics?
Mhm.
Where did you hear about this new stimmy checks? I didn't hear
Oh,
anything about it.
it's not on the news. It's just speculation, man. I'm speculating.
Where are you getting this speculation from? Based off of what?
Based off of someone I watch.
So unreliable source.
No, it's not unreliable. He's pretty accurate with what he says. And am I allowed to refer him?
I have no idea. Maybe. Nah, we
Oh,
just cut him off.
okay.
I
It's George Gammon,
have no idea who that is.
RoboCapitalist.
Still don't know who that is.
Gotcha.
He's pretty credible. He has like a couple million views.
We're talking
He's
about
been getting it
YouTube.
up there. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
User credibility.
I mean,
Yeah.
could be botted. It could be edited.
But
I don't know.
you gotta think about it though. Like, if people are kind of getting used to getting money for free, right? Because the Steamy checks came out and people were really happy about it, and now that it's not coming out no more, people are pretty upset. So it's either they come out with another Steam 2.0, like 10 trillion, or they're gonna create a universal base income. So I mean that will solve the unrest in America. I believe so.
I don't think so. I
I
don't
think
feel like
so.
because UBI has been talked about for a while, and it never became into quotation.
But then it kind
Um,
of did though. The Steamy checks are kind of a
it's not
UBI.
It's consistent. It was like what we got, like I think three in over the course of like a year and a
2 years.
half. No, it was like a year and a half or something. Like only three. We're not talking about like consistent like every month type of stimmy. It was three over the course of a year and a half, 15 months or something, right? 18 months,
Hmm.
whatever. That's not a lot compared to like other countries which was doing like I mean monthly stuff. I feel like you're kind of exaggerating it because it wasn't a lot for that stimmy.
I don't know. I feel like it's a test the water. If other places are doing it already, then that means that people are uh, not manipulated, but what's that word? When when you kind of cradle people up until they're used to it.
I don't know.
Nurture? No, it's not nurture.
I have no
Um,
idea.
Well,
so
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that UBI is, in essence, a way to give people back what they've paid in through taxes. If anything, UBI is a very poor substitute for social services that should already be rendered. Things like, so I mean, we pay the government in taxes, and they're supposed to do roads, infrastructure, parks, things like that. Um, Technically, there could also be a baseline for food and housing that the government
So,
could provide back through
so you're
taxes.
so you're saying
Based,
you're for UBI?
uh, I'm not saying that in the least. I'm saying
Okay.
that our government should be using our taxes better, and
Okay.
we
It
should
sounded like you're headed towards that. I was like, oh, I don't think
negative.
that's good.
No, I see
Yeah.
UBI as a middleman, and America already has way too many middlemen with way too many things. Instead of giving people the UBI the money to buy these things, give them these things. Don't add a second step to it. That's unnecessary. If you want people, if you're complaining about people taking their stimulus checks and spending it on watches or Game Boys or oh god, that's a dated reference, or
Okay, boys.
Steam Decks or anything new, just stupid stuff, iPhones, then don't do that. Just give them food, give them housing services, give them actual functioning transportation, public
Yeah.
transportation. Um, so I'm not for the stimulus checks, but I understand that it's a substitute to a system that we should have. Um, and it's all about framing. People don't like the idea of, we're just giving people free money. It's not free money. We pay taxes for it. Well, some of us did. Others, paid no taxes in the last 2 years whatsoever, even though they're so self-proclaimed billionaires. But we're not going to get into that. So it's UBI is a weird one. It's definitely something that could work, maybe, but I'm not. I'm not for it. I'm
I don't
definitely
think it'll work,
for
dude.
government
But
responsibility.
yeah,
But yeah, and the reason why it's not going to even work on a trial basis is because when we're so divided to the point where having those 50% margins between what people like and what people don't is just it's impossible to work in legislatures that require a 66% yes or no to change anything or implement any laws. It's impossible to institute any change, any worthwhile change anymore. Just with that, hey, air is good for you. 50% people are going to disagree. No matter what you say, 50% of the people are going to disagree. So, but yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Okay.
Not even sure I cashed my stimulus check.
oh, going back to the high risk, high reward thing. Let's just say my 50. I didn't go over my other when I'm turning 50. Let's just say, for example, McDonald's, right? McDonald's is very known, and if I invest in McDonald's, what's the chances of it like flopping? People are still going to go to McDonald's. Kids love McDonald's. McDonald's still booming, and I bet you still go eat at McDonald's. So it's like throwing some money into there, and it's not going to be bad. I mean, you just listen to the news. If it's going bad, then you just get out of it or throw it into something else that's booming.
I stopped going to McDonald's. Those motherfuckers are charging me $7.69 for a combo number 7. That's 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink, and it's costing me over $7. That is superbly ridiculous. When 3 years ago that would be like $5.
Is that
I'm
number 2?
super angry about that. Fuck you.
Dude,
No,
number
I'm just
2.
saying. I would go to McDonald's. I get my 2 cheeseburgers, and sometimes I get a drink and fries. I can get away with like a $5 meal. That was only a few years ago. It's exploded, and I stopped going to McDonald's. It's not worth it for the quality of the food versus the price. Me on a personal level, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, I'm sure people are still going, still
Yeah,
doing it.
a lot.
But yeah, even with the labor shortages, like it's even taken me 30 minutes before to get in and out of some fast food joints, and hey, at that point, it's not fast food, all right? You're
It's,
charging me
30
more,
minutes. 30
giving me
minutes for
less
food.
service. Yeah, 30 minutes. If I have to if it takes me longer and you're charging me more, and I'm not seeing these automated kiosks that you keep saying, oh, in order to keep prices down, we're gonna have to replace people with computers and kiosks and all this. I'm like, okay, then do it. Then freaking do it. Either way, if you're claiming that you have to keep people on staff to keep if your prices are going to go up, all right, make sure your quality of service stays at the same at least. Don't give me worse service and charge me more, because at a certain point, people are going to try to figure out how to go back to the way we were before, where people would all live in a commune, a house. You'd have more than one person per household and actually somebody to cook food and all that. In my opinion, I don't think McDonald's is going to hold up for the next freaking 25 years if they keep conducting business the way they are. They're slipping, and they got to change something fast. In this market, you got to adapt or die, and they are not adapting well right now. And them not being in the news is part of the problem. So,
Wait, on the subject of McDonald's, right? Actually, McDonald's announced there's going to be corporate layoffs.
I
Look at
mean,
that.
everyone's
Look at
downsizing
that.
though. Like
Yeah,
everyone, everyone's downsizing, so it's not like that big of a news. There's going to be a massive layoff this year. I feel like.
No, but that's more on the tech side, though. It seems okay. So, like, I guess the layoff part kind of makes sense. It makes sense because,
Well, if
but
everybody's downsizing, how are we having labor shortages?
no one wants to work. I don't know.
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
No one does want to work. You're not getting paid what you should be paid in order to live in this inflation environment.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that works out. So the downsizing is good because there's labor shortages. That works out. We have less people who want to work, so we're gonna have less jobs. I just that's a market reaction. That's fine.
maybe. I guess. Like, I don't know.
Where are people getting money to not work? That's what I want to know.
Stimulus checks?
I mean,
Nah.
stimmy checks.
Yeah. Oh my God, they are stretching that $2,400 a year. Jesus.
I'm telling you, dude, because like no one's working. They might be considered UBI, man, just so that people can live. People are complaining. People are unhappy. There's social unrest. UBI might be an option, man.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
no, what it? It's like UBI is like what? It was like roughly 1,000 a month. That's not enough.
Not even, man.
It's not enough, but people will make
But
do with it,
somehow,
man.
yeah. Apparently,
Uh,
somebody's living off this. Is the claim?
Yeah.
I don't think
I'd
it
love to
would.
see it, but
Because if UBI becomes a thing, I would assume rent will go up, stuff, other prices will go up.
Everything will go up. That's the bad
Right.
part.
Average rent
rent's
is
already
now
going up.
$1,000.
Everything's
Yeah.
already going up. What do you want?
Well, $1,000 not gonna fucking cover all of it then.
I mean, they're not gonna raise what's it, W-2 pays. I mean,
Yeah, but $1,000 still not gonna cover your monthly cost of living.
I mean, I
Well,
could
if you
live
own
off
your house,
$1,000.
And that's because you.
yeah, you own a home, don't you? Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, it's,
Maybe
Home
3.
owning.
you know,
Son of a
34% of us don't own a home.
Look at Mr. 66% over here.
Yeah, not paying rent.
I love it.
it- It's just how you set yourself up. I mean, from 2021 till now, this is what I've been uh, pursuing, wanting to do. Some people, I feel a lot of people can't or don't want to do it or don't want it enough to do it.
I don't think
Gotcha.
it's. No, I don't think that's the case. It's not that they don't want to do it. I just don't think they can do it because of the
Like,
situation. Like,
I mean,
Yeah, tell you what. Let me flip this to the more positive aspect.
okay,
I'm single. I
Yeah.
choose to be single. That is my choice.
okay,
Okay. So let's start there. I am a single person household. All right. So if I look at my median income at my age versus the cost of a house at my age, and let's say the cost of rent over a certain amount of time,
Mhm.
what I have to do is I have to figure out what are my savings what can I save each year, and how
Yep.
long would it take me in order to save in order to purchase a house? Do you
Correct.
think with a median income right now that that this single person who, hey, it's a perfectly fine choice. I think we can agree it's a fine choice to choose to be single. That's fine.
Mhm.
Can they save for a house in 30 years? Can they save for a house in 20 years
Of
within the
course,
median income
of
today?
course, of course you can. That's how I did it. I mean, I was single. I didn't marry until 20. I forgot 27. Anyways, I didn't marry, and I had enough. Like, I have plenty.
Okay.
It's where you put your money. If you're just saving it in the savings account, of course you're not going to get enough. You get 0.01%. If you're
were you paying
saving,
rent?
huh?
What was your cost of living? Were you like paying rent? Were you living by yourself type of thing?
Yeah, I had my own bills. It only came up to around 2,200. That's my life living. That's
Hmm.
my monthly bill, 2,200. I live very minimal. I think that's still too much.
I guess.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
I had a pay off car too. I buy my cars paid off, so I don't have to pay. I didn't really have high monthly debt, uh, because I paid everything off. Does that make sense when I bought it?
That does. That
Yeah.
does. I mean, I've done the
Yeah,
So
same.
but I don't
I
think
kind of.
everyone's lucky enough to like. I was assuming because I think at that time you had a job that paid well enough for that, right? But I don't think you like.
I made $25 an hour.
Holy fuck! Well, that is well above median income
Yeah, that's above
for,
medium.
for somebody 18 to 25. Oh my god.
But
Yes,
at the same time, you could do, that's a job you can get though. Like, why would you
but not
settle for
everyone could
less?
get.
Then you probably move and find a different spot. You have family.
But no, but like not everyone's gonna have that option, right?
Well, even without that option, okay. Let's go back to my $8 an hour, okay. Eight
Do it.
dollars an hour, huh?
Yep. Good. Good.
Okay, $8 an hour on a yearly basis. I was able to save up around. This is when I was 18, so I was still living with my mom. So that means that people that still live with their parents at that time could still make this much. So I still made roughly around 8,000 to 16,000 extra, and with that, that's already enough to buy a home.
Depending on where you live, yes. But then some
Then you
people
have to
don't
make
have.
those. you have to make those sacrifices, or
Not if
you know,
if the job is not like I think you're not factoring circumstances. Like if they depending on like where the job is, right? And
mhm.
the location of job and a home that would actually fit that price range would not be close. Will most likely not be close to that job, right?
I think so, dude. I live in Georgia. Home prices are like not that they're not cheap during that time. I was still able to afford a home. I just didn't buy one because I didn't know the process yet, and I was still studying it. And I didn't know how to make decisions yet, but I was still able to afford a home. So it's like I'm pretty sure if anybody at that time who had that amount of money can buy a home, it's just that kids or growing up adults during that time just wants to have fun, and so they go out, they drink, they party, or they buy their own entertainments, and then somehow I don't understand how people get so much bills. Like that's something I don't understand because I've never been through that because I don't let myself get through that. I make the sacrifices not to get there. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
It
No,
does,
maybe.
but
Yeah.
there's also the like you gotta think like $8 an hour. That's what 16,000 a year. Um, and and even if living frugally, like you said, at $2,000 per month, that that doesn't leave any room for savings whatsoever. That's that's
I
it's
mean,
kind of
there's overtime. You could work two jobs. I mean, not only that, you can use that money to invest in something else other than real estate to get your money back. Like, there's plenty of revenues out there. You just got to go and get it. So, I mean, I don't feel like people take the time to do it. Like one of my coworkers that I used to work with, who was my partner, he'll talk about investing all the time. Oh, he wants to get out of this place, but he spends all his money on beer, alcohol, throwing parties, not like drinking parties, but just family parties. And then it's like he wonder where all his money goes and why he's not investing. He's too afraid to invest for one, and he's always investing in gambling, not gambling as in going out there and black casinos and stuff, but in these sketchy penny stocks and everything, and trying to get rich quick. The and you wonder why he's still stuck where he is because he's not growing, he's not making the sacrifices, he's not doing the work, the study, the actual saving, and not going out with his friends or throwing parties for a birthday, a big party that costs around $10,000. I mean, you got to be smart with your money. Yeah, maybe your son does deserve that $10,000 party, but at the same time, is that what you want to set up for the future? You have the fun now. I'm not knocking people having fun now. I wish I could have too. I missed out on a lot. But at the same time, I'm setting myself up for my family for whenever I'm 50.
yeah, and I definitely agree with you there. I see a lot of frivolous spending that I think
Yeah.
goes really unnoticed in a lot of these discussions. It piles up real quick. You don't think about it, but yeah, if you're going out every night, you're drinking at the bar, buying $5 shots and all that, or you're going to sports games every weekend, and tickets aren't getting cheaper. I'll tell you that
No, they're
much.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, it adds up, and yeah, at the end of the year, you look at your finances, you're wondering, hey, what happened to all my savings? I didn't get anywhere to get ahead for my purchases, and yeah, it sneaks up on you. So yeah,
It,
part
it
of the
really
problem
does.
is people need to start buckling down. Just start spending more intelligently. Even if you're not getting paid more or what you think you should be paid, um, part of that is also accounting for what am I spending what I am paid on.
Yeah.
So
There's a rule of concept, or like if you ever read the book Richest Man in Babylon, they do a percentage. Long story short, they do a percentage. It's like 30% is all investment. 10% of that 30% is your personal investment, meaning you do something with that money to make money. The other 10% is charity. The other 10%, the last 10%, is you have someone else make that money for you. And so that's what you learn from that book, long story short. And I don't feel like people are doing that. They look at their money when they get paid. 100% of that goes to spending. They don't right off the bat. you're supposed to take 30% out and do some investing with it. And I don't think barely 90, probably 1% of people only do that. That's why what 1% people are rich. Is that what they say?
Sure.
So
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
1%.
yeah, no, I'm not the 1%, not yet.
We should move to the next topic. Um, next topic I want to next topic I want to bring up about is it's not that new, but it's more. So I want to talk about the topic of the metaverse, right? The big thing with Meta, Facebook, whatever, and them working out to build out the metaverse. So, what's your thoughts on it? Expectations, and I guess like, yeah,
They're still doing that?
I don't know.
Metaverse needs to catch up because VR2. Oh, wait, was it VR? Shit, help me out here. VR chat. There we go. VR
Ah,
chat is way ahead of Metaverse, man. In my
Well,
Well,
opinion.
so for what I know about the metaverse, right? It's something that was it Zuckerberg really is banking on. So he invested a lot into it. Like it's enough to drop the value of the Meta, Facebook Meta, whatever stock and his own personal wealth, right? So Meta lost a lot of workers off it. There was a mass layoff because they lost value in the company, and a lot of it was dumped into the metaverse. And I don't know the timeline on it, but I don't know if you guys know anything about it, and really what your any hopes, ideas, thoughts on it.
Well, I do hope that it becomes successful and it's actually a really good metaverse or like VR.
Why?
But because I
Why?
think it'd be great if they can make games off of it. Don't you want to be like isekai into another world? That'd be that'd be awesome, man.
I mean, why don't you just do VR chat then? Why would you care about Meta
Well,
doing
I
it?
mean, VR chat. I feel like I don't know too much about it, but I feel like it's too much of a more like a place to meet and greet. Whereas VR chat is trying to integrate. Um, there's like crypto stuff into that, right?
right. So the metaverse, from my understanding, the metaverse is trying to be a bit more expansive than VR chat. So VR
Yeah.
chat is quite literally just that hub to talk person to person or groups of people. And yeah, it has nice visuals and all that. The metaverse wants to be the entire social network. It wants to be
Yes.
commerce. It wants to be exploration. It wants to be, yeah, the NFTs, the crypto, banking, just virtual spaces where you can have virtual presentations
Hmm.
or hubs to actually work, you know, with certain programs, integrations in there. Like I could have an engineering office in the metaverse where I go there and I have certain programs and assets I can use as an engineer in this virtual building, just in my own secure location, if you will. Um, it's really weird because like I thought the first move they would have done with Meta is acquiring Second Life. I always thought that was the play they were going to go with. I'm like, oh well, Second Life was already kind of starting this
Established. Yeah.
without the whole VR AR setup, and that just made sense to me, and it never happened. And I'm like, oh okay, whatever. Um, there recently there was layoffs, I guess, from the last um, financial statements they had, and unfortunately, they'd had to cut a lot of jobs. But yeah, to be honest, they have not been doing a good job, marketing
Yeah.
wise, and just everything, and actually programming wise. It's crazy how much VR chat feels like it's ahead of the metaverse when the
Hmm.
metaverse had all this money just pouring into it. And honestly, that could just be hiring the wrong people. Um, yeah, they should have acquired Second Life, acquired VR Chat, just took in all their programmers, all the people who are so passionate about the whole idea of VR, and just gave them the resources to run with it. I think they would have been years ahead of anybody else if they did this from the start. Um, and they still have
That
a chance.
and I feel like metaverse is uh it's how do I say it? It's too far ahead of its time. Does that make sense?
It
It,
does. They're trying to do a
yeah.
lot that they just aren't ready for yet.
Yeah. Not them. I think it's the people that's not ready yet either.
It's just insane because I don't understand how VR didn't just explode in 2020. Like that was the prime chance to just put all the assets they could into it when people were, just as I said, this work from home and just not interacting with people and really wanting those social connections when it felt like we couldn't have them for a good solid year there. And they could have took huge advantage of that, but if anything, what they did is they took their finances and they put it in the wrong place. They put it into advertising. They put it into low production costs of the Oculus and Oculus Rift and Oculus Rift 2 and the headsets and the marketing instead of actually making a good product.
Okay.
So make the good product. Let the good product get its own momentum in advertising. You're freaking Facebook. You don't need to advertise your new product if it's a good product. People will know. They dropped the ball on asset management on that one, in my opinion. It's sad. I really hope they turn it around. I hope this next year they figure it out. They get the right people to do the right job and cycle what funding they have left into the actual production of the product, which is make it better than VR chat, make it run smoothly,
Make
don't
them
worry
have
about that.
legs.
Make them have legs. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. Just like simple stuff like that. Simple stuff like that. And stop with the proof of concept. Build the concept. All right. Stop being the ideas people. Ideas are just ideas. You have to actually make the product. All right. But I hope it turns around. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg definitely put a lot of money and lost a lot of money and support from his board on that one. But I think it can turn around. I think 2023 can turn around still. I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe. I feel like it's ahead of its time. I feel like
It
not
is.
even half the people or population not ready to go virtual yet.
Yeah.
I honestly agree with Brandon here because I feel like VR is. I think it might be. I think it's fine. Like it's something good for the future, but I don't think it's like for the immediate future. I don't think
Yeah.
the technology is good enough. And
If anything, they should for now nurture people into AR where it's not so you're stuck in one spot. And then I talked to my business partner about this a lot, or he likes the topic a lot. And it's pretty much like in AR, we could go to a restaurant and there's virtual billboards, or when we eat, there's advertisement in front of us. You could buy that advertisement and advertise. So it's like I feel like AR is more easy to ease into versus actual like putting a helmet on and you're in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm surprised that they don't have that because with satellites and GPS tracking and everything, and even Pokemon Go, it's like, why don't we have that yet?
uh,
That's good point. Good point. Yeah.
yes,
I know they've been talking a little bit about integrating AR into construction and building like that, where you could have the foreman on site put on some AR goggles and he can talk with an engineer who's in a completely different state or completely different country.
Mhm.
And that engineer can point out plans and issues in real time, in a overlay of the actual job site with what it's going to look like in the future and be like, oh yeah, this pipe's going to go here or this beam's going to go here. And oh, we can change if there's a problem, he can address it from wherever he is, just through the use of AR technologies. And I think that's a fantastic way to kind of get started where we're not on the industrial side, not on the commercial side, where we're using the technology on actual work sites, and not for just entertainment purposes and advertisements. So that's also another way they could go with it. Instead of pushing it as the social community side, they could push it as the industrial worker alternative to things. But yeah, I definitely agree. We could slow down the VR, the virtual reality, and focus more on the augmented reality to drip feed or to slowly integrate people who might
Yeah.
be more against it. Kind of like with the QR codes and the menus, like people are like, oh, why don't you just give me a solid menu? Why do I have to use my phone to click on the camera app, then hold it properly, and then take a picture, and then the menu pulls up instead of you just giving me the menu. And yeah, it could be the same thing, like put on the AR headset or have it integrated into my sunglasses,
it
and
pops
it's
up.
just there. It's
Yep.
already there. Yep, ready to go. Menu's good. Click on the items I want, and then just swipe it away. Boom, ready to go. Didn't even have to get the waiter to come back and wait for me. They
Order's
already have
already
my
in.
order already in. So I've just saved time. And even then, like on my way walking there, it's AR, it's just slightly to the side. I'm like, hey, Google Maps, this is where I'm headed. Just gives me the menu to the side of my peripheral vision, so it's not in the way of me walking there. I put in my order. They already have it before I even freaking sit down. That would be amazing. Amazing integration. And I'm totally for that as well.
Or we could just go with Elon Musk's brain chip, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just put it in my brain.
Yeah.
Isn't what you're describing HoloLens and Google Glass?
It's 100% HoloLens and Google Glass.
Yeah, but those didn't. They didn't explode. Like
They didn't. I wonder why.
It's hard because we're not.
I don't
we're
know. I
not,
like HoloLens.
Because
really
they hired the wrong people.
How? It's
That's what I'm telling you.
It's Microsoft and Google though.
I know. I know.
Well, I don't.
How did they mess it up? You want to know how they mess it up? Once again, they didn't hire the right people. They hired ideas people, but a lot of these ideas people they hire aren't people who are from normal worlds, who go out to normal places and eat food and live normal lives. And they're not hiring the people who are hyper passionate. They're just hiring freaking industrial executives who they know how to sell a product and advertise it, but they don't know how to build the product. This is what I'm saying. They didn't hire people to build these products, to go out and actually try them properly. It's just the tech industry bloating upon itself, just like you mentioned earlier today about how the tech industry is just cutting executive boards and jobs down like crazy to just get rid of that overhead. It's because they focus too much on hiring these people who don't understand how to actually build products. It's kind of like a course correction for the economy where we've been so focused on advertising and how to sell the product instead of building it. And I really think HoloLens and Google Glass, all those things could kick off a lot better than Metaverse could.
If it helps, the HoloLens is there's a contract with HoloLens in the U.S. military. They send a lot of them to the military for the use. I mean, military is using the U.S. military is using it for, I guess, training, and I think they're trying to use it for active combat. I don't know. I remember reading it a couple years ago. I don't know too much about it, but I know there was a contract with Microsoft to provide a bunch of HoloLens for it. So there is some real world use for it. I don't know.
I can see it for drone flights, things like that. I think it'd be really useful to have, operators of drones and what are the ground ones called? Either way, there's remote controlled ground units that are drones that don't fly, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, that could be super useful.
I don't know.
Huh?
Was it RC cars?
Yeah, they're pretty much like RC cars, but there's like a lot of bomb disposal ones where they have like little claw and touch stuff. But yeah, definitely like HoloLens, or not HoloLens, but the VR side of that would be super useful for the military to have a better view and like a 3D view of what they're working with. Because yeah, when you're controlling stuff on a flat screen, when it comes to that, it's difficult. Without that depth perception, you lose a lot. That would be super useful. I'm not gonna lie. So the military could use that in a pretty good way. Training wise, I think it'd be well. That's never stopped the military, but I think it'd be too expensive to use HoloLens for training and all that. But yeah, as I said, use it for industrial purposes before you use it for commercial, and you might have a pretty good way to branch later on. So yeah, totally for it. You let the military go at it, see what they can use, because you have some very interested people who are very much gunning to make things as easy and as efficient as possible in the military, at least on the low end. They don't want to waste time. So if it doesn't work, they'll let you know. And if they have to use it, they'll figure out a way to make it work. It's pretty much how it goes. Not talking from experience, just just from what I know. Oh, yeah, that's pretty interesting. And what type of things will they even have on the HoloLens in the military training? Like vitals or I
Auto
guess
targeting.
yeah, auto targeting.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Aim hacks in real life.
Yep.
Aim botting in
I
real
see
life.
through the wall. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh my god. That'd be man. If you could program that, power to you. That seems like a nightmare to program. But yeah.
I feel like
If we could program it in video games, we could program it in real life.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't think that's how it works. Okay.
No, no. Go for it, man. No, active combat. No, don't put more weight on these guys, man. They already got 50-pound kits they're carrying around, along with all the ammunition.
It's a
Rifles.
replacement for their helmet, man.
Oh god! Oh yeah.
I don't
that's
think
gonna
it's
work
a
real well.
replacement
Yeah.
helmet. I think
One
it'd be
bullet to
an
the helmet.
audit.
It's another $5,000 to replace it. Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
dang.
Oh my god! Oh, it makes me stressed just thinking about it.
I mean,
no. For
but-
active training, yeah, close quarters combat, having a HUD where you can pull up a map, without having to actually sit down, pull out a map physically. Turn on your little red flashlight to look at your map in the dark. Like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, I can see application in actual combat situations. But training, yeah, go for it. Let it go. See how it works. But totally on board with the whole restaurant idea, though. Give me my virtual menu that I can click and submit my order immediately, and then I don't have to wait on the waiter to come back. I'm on. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else
Also
to
wanted
add
to
on
say
this?
I hope Zuckerberg keeps on it. Let him go.
I don't
VR chat.
know,
Let's do the
man.
next one in VR chat. Let's see how it is.
I don't think.
Yes, we should. We all buy our own Oculus or whatever.
They're like $200 or something.
What's the? I don't remember. I believe the last time I didn't have the video card for it. I think that's.
Are you saying my video card won't work for it too then?
I don't remember. Honestly, don't remember the requirement.
What are you talking about? They use like phones with these things.
That's AR. That sounds more AR than. I
The
don't
VR?
know.
VR chat?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, VR chat you can even do. You don't even have to have like a headset for VR chat. You can just.
You don't, but
Real
it's
quick.
it's more entertaining because we can move our hands.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I might try the meta thing and just see what it's all about because I definitely haven't looked into it. It could be interesting to see how bad it is, or if maybe they're just being hyperbolic.
Have
with
you
all
been
the
following it? Or no?
bad, lightly following it. Not as much as I wish I was, but I just feel like my job in particular, civil engineering, is a very long way from ever being able to actively use VR technology from my point, from the design side. And that's not because there isn't a use for it. It's just because the current programs that we even use with 2D design suck. Like, we have two choices. We have AutoCAD and we have Bentley, and they both suck. And yes, I'm actively trashing two companies in the engineering field because their products don't work. And if we integrated VR into it, it would crash even more often than it already does. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can cut that out. We can cut that out.
No, we're gonna keep that in.
Nope,
We're
we're
gonna
keeping
keep
it in.
Oh god.
Wait,
I know.
hold on.
Yeah, the VR would be super useful, but if we can't figure out how to do 2D design already in a good, effective way, where it takes us 5 years in order to design a straight road, there's no hope. There's no hope.
Nice.
So, yeah. But I'd love to see it. Love to see it.
Love to see the
And I wouldn't have to have
metaverse.
5 screens. Yeah. Just a VR goggle headset I can put on. I don't have to have like 5 different screens, or I don't have to have 3 screens at a desk. I can just put on the headset and I have my screens already. So I'd save on.
I
Oh,
feel
it's
like
yeah.
if they could solve the inconvenience of putting a helmet on, then I think
You
we'd be good
really
to
want
go.
that chip into your brain, huh?
Well, that's
Kinda do.
far into the future for that. I don't really want a chip in my brain just for the sake of.
Well, how you
they
gonna?
could they could turn off cars with the press of a button.
So how you plan to do the VR while having to wear a headset?
contact
It's
lenses.
glasses. Like if you have glasses and you have a module that sends through Wi-Fi, like close range
No,
Wi-Fi,
that
it just sends it to the glasses.
wouldn't that fall in line with AR then more than VR?
It would, but AR and VR, there's like you act like it's two very separate things, but when it comes down to it, AR in an AR system, if you had a full overlay, it is now effectively VR. That's all it is. AR is more complicated than VR. You just put a full screen over an AR setting, and it is now effectively VR. That's all it is. So it can be either or. It should be AR. AR is the end all.
Yeah, I think the AR. I think AR is
It
more
is.
the future than VR.
Agreed. Yeah, because it's not just a screen; it's a screen you can see through. It's but yeah, hook it up, hook it up. But before you put the chip in my brain, just give me a chip that I can put in my hand, or like around my wrist. I guess like a wristwatch that has like my ID, and I can just log into work with that and not have to do this dual verification bullshit. Instead, I just hold my freaking wristwatch to my computer, and it just lets me log in. I don't have to type shit in. That'd be fucking nice.
It's not RFID chip.
Yes. Let me just log in with an RFID chip, and I don't have to like.
You know, there's a company that actually tried that, right? I don't know what it says. I
They
remember.
try again.
No,
I really want them to try again.
don't
I'm
remember what
so sick
happened.
of carrying 3 different ID cards to get into my building, and then having to open my phone, turn on an app, type in some new numbers, remember a password, type in some new numbers.
No, there was some weird controversy with it. The biometrics on it. I don't remember. It was like some.
I'm not saying biometrics, just have like a chip on my wristwatch.
Oh no! It was like the company they did it with it put RFID chip in like in the arm or something. I forgot. It was a weird.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah, and they got the blood battery.
my old company, there was we had a new little clock-in machine, and we had to use our thumbprints for that. And then there's a whole bunch of people that were against it because that's our information, our bodily information, right?
Yep.
And so there's this one guy who, when he was called in to do his thumbprint, he took off his shoe and put his feet on top of the table and be like, "You want my thumbprint? Here, you can have my toe print." And then he actually put his toe on the print.
Every time he clocks in, he has to take out his shoe.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty much.
God.
But eventually he got fired.
Yep.
Is it because of that?
No, it's because
Malicious
he
supplies.
refused to do it.
Yep.
So it
Yeah.
was because of
blame him.
that.
Well, it wasn't because of his toe. It was he refused to do the thumbprint.
That sounds to me the same
Um,
thing. He refused to do thumb print, so he did a toe print, and he got fired because he was doing a toe print. How's that
Pretty
not
much.
related?
I mean, technically, they can't put that toe print into the government database of fingerprints. So your old coworker might have been hiding something.
Maybe.
I mean,
But yeah, 100%. That feels like a gross overreach of personal data.
from a technical standpoint, those fingerprints don't actually go into like a database. You guys know that, right?
Nope. I don't.
Most of
That's
it
what they
is,
say.
it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
most companies don't do that, right? Most of
Yeah.
most
I
of it's
don't
like
believe
local. I don't know, like
I don't believe you. You want to know why I don't believe you? And yet I believe you
Apple?
at the same time? I believe you. I believe that companies don't do that because it would cost money and take time. That's why I believe they don't give that information just willingly to government agencies, because those government agencies aren't going to pay them for that stuff. They're just going to want to take it. And that is programming, and that's hiring a person to actually take the data and give it to them, or whatever you want to say. So yes, I believe you there, but on the offhand that once again, it's the government and they take what they want. I 100% believe that there are some companies that are like, okay, if you want to take this, take it, whatever. This is where we have it stored. We don't care. Because what are they going to say? No? And then go
Yes.
through more legal battle? Yeah, they're going to say no, but is it really going to be worth the legal fight and paying more lawyers for more nonsense when they could just as easily just give it to them? So I could see that going either way. The best option, once again, this is always my best option. Less data is better, in my opinion, because if you have more data on me, then I mean, you have my old profile, and it's annoying. Like, you don't need it for me to sit down at an office and work. Why do you need my thumbprint? Why do you need my thumbprint?
So someone else
Yeah.
can log you in as you.
Okay, or you could just let me log in. I could just walk to a computer, turn it on, and it just works. The programs just work. What secret military data? I'm not working on secret military data. I don't care who sees this. Just let me log in on the computer that is isolated in this building with a server in this building. Well, okay, I guess that's the answer, right?
Well,
The cloud.
because if you give someone your password, you log in. You like, yo, I'm not coming in to work today, so can you just log into my computer? And it's like, here's my password, and they just log in. That's it. There's ways around it,
Oh.
stuff like that. I
Yeah,
think
but why? Well, why is that a problem?
because they want to make sure you're working. Like, how else? What else do you think about?
The problem solved right there is just getting a camera, right?
Right? Getting a camera, or call me crazy. I have a boss who works in my office who knows when I'm working.
But
Well,
your
responsibility,
boss,
right?
Oh wow!
Wow.
Corporate
Ooh,
responsibility.
that's so hard.
Oh, oh wow! How did we know you're working? I don't know. Maybe you have somebody standing there who sees me working. Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, that's just how I guess payroll works in terms of like checking in your hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
That's just
okay.
that's why they do the biometric. I don't know.
I know.
I'm not working HR, so I don't know. But
HR's wreck.
that's
Yeah, if you're biometrically tracking people's work hours, sure, okay. But I think you need to look inside and ask yourself, why am I biometrically tracking work hours? Why is this necessary? Like, because I think we can all agree there's a difference between clocking in and clocking out and actual efficiency. If I get my work done, I get my work done. Me spending 40 hours on it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get it done or not get it done. So
different companies have different beliefs on that.
oh, 100%. Yeah, agreed.
That's
But yeah, you can have my toe print. Tell you what, you can have my toe print.
nice.
Go at it. Have my toe print.
Wait, no, that's usually for
Uh,
hourly people though. If you're like salaried, that's usually not the case.
yeah.
Yeah, it's usually
Well,
for hourly
hourly.
people. Yeah.
If that were true, I wouldn't have to fill out a timesheet. So
Wait, you still do the
I
timesheet? You're salaried, aren't
still
you?
do.
You still do the
Yeah, we're
timesheet?
not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
That's weird. That's
No, it's not.
hourly.
It's to track how long it takes to do certain tasks, which I can't argue against. You want to know how long it takes a certain task. You want to average that, and you want to send bid proposals based on how many hours it takes to do certain tasks.
APIs, baby.
Yeah, which cool. I get it. Still a waste of my time. That's still an hour every day of my life that I get to actually spend on doing the task instead of writing about how I'm doing the task. But to each their own. We got off topic. Yeah, metaverse, awesome.
Cool. Cool.
Hope it gets
Cool.
better.
Yeah.
Next topic.
For the metaverse.
Next topic.
Next
Uprising of AI. So in the
Ooh.
last year, right? AI has been it's been making leaps and bounds and big growth, right? So with the more recent I guess story with AI, well, AI is so there's two AI programs that have been sticking out recently, which is was it Chat GPT and there's the Lensa, right? Lensa is more the filter, where it's I guess like filter. It creates art, right? Lensa is the art AI that creates art based off like either it sees a picture of you or something you suggest, and it's been creating controversy with that because of like it's been stealing art and altering it and then calling AI, and then with Lensa, there's artists that are being accused of using AI even though they created their own art, but people believe it's like AI generated, and because of how the Lensa AI is currently working. And then there's the Chat GP AI, which was released, I believe, a couple months ago publicly, and people have been using it for all sorts of things. They're able to type up like essays for schools for it, and there's been some
Nice.
controversy with that, and it's hard to detect. Your thoughts on the AI? I mean, the growth of AI and how it's affecting, I guess, real world scenario.
Well, I think that I wish they had this technology when I was still in school.
So you cheat. I mean, that's
Where
the
was
issue.
that at?
The technology
Right.
wasn't there.
Damn.
I mean, right now that's the big controversy. Well, that's the big issue with Chat GPT in schools because they're using it to write essays, so they don't need to do as much work, and it's harder for like teachers to find how to tell if it's AI generated because of how good this Chat GPT is. Um,
Mm.
and I mean, I read an article. There was like another person who created a program to help try and to find AI generated Chat GPT generated essays to help the schools. But I think it's an interesting topic because of it. Because now we have AI like exploding onto the scene, and now everyone's using it. Because right now, it's Chat GPT is open to everyone to use. It's not like it's limited too harshly, I think. But people are definitely using it to like generate like essays and answer a bunch of questions for them that they don't need to do as much work for in the past. Um, yeah, thoughts.
So, so when are we going to get our first news article generated by Chat GPT? Is my question. When is a news or an editor or a journalist going to use it and not get caught? And when are they going to get caught? And how is that going to influence the future of reporting in news? Because if we're having people generate essays and they're so good, or teachers are so lazy, either way, that it's undetectable if a human or the AI is making this article, then we might be able to just apply that to news articles and books and actual regular media. And that I think that could be dangerous. It could be good, and it could also be dangerous because that will just increase our ability to output more false articles and misinformation at a much higher rate if people don't even have to write it themselves. That's scary. It's interesting
I feel like
and
it's
terrifying.
in. I feel like it's inevitable, because like AI is meant to be like It's artificial intelligence, so it's pretty much they're trying to make it think like us and be able to like process like us, right?
Right.
Right.
And so it's this is the step forward. And if it's inhumane, then why are we producing AR? I mean, not AR, sorry, art, artificial intelligence. If that's what we're trying to produce, then why not let it do what it's supposed to do? Because it needs to learn, just like us. We all generate our writing and art by copying something else, right? Like when we're in school, we are asked to follow uh, the alphabet. We learn the alphabet. They learn the alphabet. They learn the words. They read essays. So that's what this artificial intelligence is doing. To learn to draw, you start by seeing what people like to draw and you start drawing that. You slowly make it yours. With music, there's only so many combinations of notes that you can make. And so like that's why there's so many songs out there that sounds like another song and people get sued. Sometimes they are copying the song, sometimes they're not. And so this is like inevitable. But in the sense of crediting it, I think that they should create something to in order to find out if it's generated or not. Am I making sense here?
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of. Well,
It's crazy that the biggest issue is copyright and not morality within this issue. Because I hear a lot more people bring up that issue that you state, like how are we going to give credit or how are we going to commodify this? At what point is it the AI's property, and at what point is it the original artist that it stole it from, or the original writers that it stole this information from? I see them as the same thing. I see the Chat GPT and the Lensa as exactly the same thing. They're both art. Art, one's visual, one's written, but it's
Hmm.
both art in that people have made stuff and it is using those active constructs of real people to make its own through learning, through computerized learning and programming. And yeah, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Whether we call it AI or we call it something else, computer learning or just advanced search queries, either way, it's going to happen. It's going to get better. And it's going to be at that point where it's hard to determine what is what. Uh, I think it's going to reduce jobs, and it's the main issue here is this is a technology that isn't making the normal boring stuff that humans do easier or that we don't have to do it. It's making the expressive stuff, the things that people want to do, to create art and to write stories. It's taking that away from people, which I think is a pretty big moral issue of I don't want to do the boring stuff in my life. I want to do the artistic stuff. That's what the whole goal of technology for me should be. It should be to make stupid stuff go away so I can spend time on art and writing and expression. And yet we have we have this AI that's coming out not to take away the stupid stuff, but to take away my expression and to make me invalid in that way. And that kind of hurts, but it's fine.
It's well, you guys keep talking about it in like the moral standpoint. Is it really? Is the whole issue with AI more about morals, or is it more about ethics? Because I thought it was more along the ethics line, more about like, because I don't see people saying that it's AI is morally incorrect or morally wrong, morally insensitive. Is I always see it's more of like it's being unethically used in a way to, I guess, cheat. And
Did you say cheat?
yeah, because like you're mostly using it just like cheat in terms of like writing the essays, writing resumes, cover letters, creating articles, writing documents for themselves. Besides that, like it's just an
I think it's
example.
ethical. It's just another tool. And yeah, we always try to come up with these very thin, defined boundaries for things like that, which we should. You should constantly assess things ethically and morally to understand where you stand. But the point being that we have a tool that we can use to do things. And once again, we're just saying, no, you can't do that. We don't want you to use this awesome tool that's going to help you do things. Instead, we want you to do it a different way, a more archaic way, to serve what purpose? Understanding. No, we want you to understand the baseline of how to do this task before you use the tool. So once again, this is one of those things like not allowing me to use a calculator in a math test.
Makes sense.
Is there inherent value in not using a calculator during a math test? Depends on the test, depends on the level, maybe. But when it comes down to it, if you want me to complete a task and I have a tool that'll allow me to do it quicker or better, morally, you should allow me to use that tool. So I am very much against the plagiarism hawks in the schools. This is the whole Wikipedia argument all over again. You can't use Wikipedia as a site, as a source to get your information, even if it's a good hub of all information, and you can jump off of it from there. So yeah, ethically, I think everybody's going to have their own ethical interpretation of what line of use this AI is. But I know the big issue with the Lensa is pretty much the selling of art and just taking away jobs from artists who already have a very difficult time commercially, especially getting paid. Just there's a whole giant issue about CG artists not getting paid for movies and having to go bankrupt after one great production, and this could definitely hurt them more. But that's the future. That's adaptability. Ethics be damned, it's going to happen. Good luck stopping it.
Right. So you think this is more on the ethics side, or is it both?
It's both. It's
I think it's morally wrong because it's taking away jobs. What part of it is morally wrong? I'm just trying to understand.
no, I don't think it's morally wrong. No, I think it's going to happen. Like there's no moral unjustification not to use it. It's a tool that makes a task easier. It's not. It is hurting people in certain sense, but I just wish we were using it more on different things. As I said, not the non-creative endeavors. That's all. It's just a personal preference of use AI to make life easier on the things that we don't like to do, not the things that are expressive and fun and actually show our humanity, if you will. But that's not my call.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand. I agree. Um, Brandon,
Hello.
what's your thought on it? Anything you add to it? I don't know.
I mean, since I was an artist too, I feel like I'm being cheated if I was to have a artificial intelligence copy my work and be able to produce what I produce. It kind of ruins the dedication, hard work I put into it. So I'm at the same time, it's also like I want it because that means I don't have to do it no more. I don't know. Am I making sense here?
But that's more for you,
Yeah, it's
It is.
more for me. But
So
if we're talking about for other people too, I'm pretty sure artists wouldn't like it either because it takes their job away and they won't that's their revenue of getting paid. And in a sense, I would say that if it's copying my material, I have the right to get revenue from what it's creating. Does that make sense? If it's my style, then I should be getting paid for whatever it generates because I created that style.
but you won't know it until like someone else points it out, right? Like how you gonna know it's you? It's not like it's gonna say it's gonna credit you for when it creates a picture off of your. Like how would you
I
know?
mean, you would think it would, right? Because
yeah,
there's
wouldn't that be
some
easier?
it would be easy because
What?
when it creates something, it has to pull some information and generate from that, right? So if it
Yeah.
pulls your information from it, then you get credited some kind of like YouTube revenue. You get paid a couple cents for every time it uses your work. And so in this case, we could solve that by if it pulls my information for this drawing, then I get paid for it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
Simple.
that should be super
should,
easy.
Yeah.
but that's not the current case because like with the current case with Lenza, it's pulling inspiration from other like artists, but I don't think it knows that it's doing it on purpose, right? Because it's pulling like yeah, it's gouging the internet for pictures and taking inspiration, but it doesn't know that it's actually plagiarizing on other people. Um, so
How would
that's
it not know that? It's literally doing
so
scripts
I
and
am not
programming.
Lenza. I don't know, but that's the current issue right now because they found like
Well, that's what I'm saying.
similarities.
It's all data. It's
Yeah.
100% data. So it has a database of every single step it used in order to come to its final product. There's no way it can't track every single item that it's stealing from or that it's borrowing from or learning
It
from.
has to know what it's referencing because it references something. So just give
100%.
credit to whatever it references and then problem solve.
Yep.
But there's going to be some unhappy artists out there that's not getting paid full commission. But I mean, if it's using your work and I'm getting some lumps, some change, I'm happy with that. That's me because that's less work I got to do.
This is the whole John Henry versus the machine all over again.
Is it really?
I
It
have
is.
no idea what that is.
It is. It's the old fable of the steel driving man who they come up with a machine that can drive piles or whatever for a railroad track much better than a normal person. And John Henry's just this big guy who's freaking really good at it. So he has a competition where he goes one on one against a machine to drive so many miles of track or whatnot for this railroad. Um, Either way, I don't know. I don't remember the full story. I think he dies of a heart attack at the end. And
Dang.
yeah, not,
Damn.
not the happiest of tales, but the whole point is technology comes around and it is going to take jobs. It's not going to give credit to people. And even the best of the best only have a certain amount of time before they have to move on and do something else or die from exhaustion from the machine wearing them down. This being the legal machine of copyright. But yeah, but no, 100%. I think all college students should use ChatGPT to start their essay prompts, and then put it in the machine that checks their plagiarism that we've been using for years, which is also nonsense and uses a form of AI. And then just keep adjusting word for word the entire essay until it passes the horribly arbitrary criteria of plagiarism for their essays. 100%, I'm on board. ChatGPT is awesome.
Okay.
I think I solved the problem though. They should listen to me more often.
Yeah,
just listen to me.
You. Yeah, you got the
I will
answers to everything.
solve all your problems. All your problems.
What about the new COVID variant?
I haven't been following. Dude, ever since coronavirus came out, I didn't even care about it, dude.
That's interesting. Because China, they had the zero COVID policy, but then they loosened it because of the whole controversy, and they couldn't keep it. I guess they couldn't keep it up, and so they just gave up, and they loosened it, and now it's like rampant, and there's like a new variant. I forgot what to call it, but it's like something really new. It just came out, I think, like 2 months ago, a month or two ago. It's highly contagious, and this one also like makes you lose your taste and your senses again.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
no?
No,
Yes,
I haven't heard about it.
Heard a little bit about it, but I don't know. My opinion is pretty much when our lawmakers don't care, it just doesn't matter. It's just a thing you have to deal with and live with. So social peer pressure makes me not wear a mask in the office or around here. So that's a thing. I'm sure that I carry through with a stronger hygiene regimen than before coronavirus started to kick off.
Yeah.
Have a lot of Purell on my desk that I use pretty often. I mean, I avoid social interactions a lot more than I did years past.
Really?
But yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that's Corona's problem or if that's enough.
Oh,
Yeah, that could be a lot of things going on there. So yeah.
I still do everything normally. It's just that I can't go out to like visit Japan or go out of country. I couldn't even go to
Right.
Hawaii. That was upsetting. I couldn't go to my sister's wedding because I didn't want to take the vaccine.
Well, you shouldn't be going to Hawaii anyway. They've asked people not to go there because they've had water problems. So what are you
They
doing,
had
man?
what?
Wait, they have water
They're
problems?
having water problem. Yeah.
Oh,
The Navy base has been polluting like their primary source of fresh water for years, and it just got to lead levels that are dangerous. And they've asked for tourism to slow the hell down, or at least the local populace has asked tourism to slow down so they could get ahead of it, start treating the water, while having their water supply that is good and uncontaminated, sustain the levels they need to for the local populace. But no, travelers still going in and out like crazy. People loving to go Hawaii all the time, just freaking making a bad situation worse. But whatever.
Wait, really? I have friends in Hawaii. They never
Yes.
told me this. I still talk to
Oh,
them to this
God.
day. They never mentioned this.
Well, are they locals or are they jackbag Army guys and Navy guys and Marines?
Navy?
Jesus Christ.
I think Navy?
Yeah.
One is either Air Force or Navy, and the other one lives there.
And I don't know what to tell you because that was in the news for for half a second before they squashed that real quick. But
I
I don't know. But yeah, the new variant wise, it's not a big deal because it's not being treated as a big deal. It's at the level where it's just like the flu, it's just like the cold. It's year round for the most part, but it's just something we have to deal with because this is where we are. And unless a new variant reaches a level of not only great transmissibility, but an actual lethality that will affect 1 in 100 people, nobody's going to care. Nobody will ever care. They can keep putting it in the news and they keep trying to push for it. Nobody's going to care. Unless important people actually die. That's the truth of it.
Okay, so the new variant is called the XBB 1.5?
0.1.1. 0.5. 0.1, 0.5.
Right. It went from 2% cases up to 27. 2% of the U.S.
Nice.
cases was this variant, but now in the last week it rose to 27%. And then they believe more than 70% of the Northeast are this variant, which was originally found in New York, but they're not sure if that's where it originated from. They believe it originated overseas.
Okay.
Well, that's what last I heard about it, but and
Alright.
the booster doesn't. I believe the boosters help with it, but it's not as effective. I don't know, man.
But yeah, I said just another flu, just another cold. As long as people, for the most part, when the good thing I'll say is it does seem as if people are taking sick leave, staying home, not trying to infect other people with normal ailments. I think that is a good thing for many reasons. I very much enjoy not feeling obligated to come into the office when I'm leaking like a faucet through my nose or coughing up a storm, where I can actually go home, work from home,
I wish I
or
could do
actually
that.
yeah, I know it's very privileged of me to say that I can do that. Unfortunately,
That's my day to
sad
day.
to say.
No, I
Right?
meant like because on my old work job, right? We're supposed to call out sick if we're sick. That's what they
Mhm.
told us. But if you call out sick, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you actually get in trouble, or do you just like get guilt tripped into feeling
No,
that
you
you
get a
did something
point.
wrong?
You get a point.
You get a
Yeah.
point. It's like a punch card. Get
It's
10 and
like
you're
Right.
fired.
if you get 10 points, then you're eligible for being fired. If you,
Oh,
Oh,
I just
I was
guessed
gonna say
that.
yeah,
that too. 10 points and you get fired.
It's a
for
It's
punch
like a
real.
card.
punch card.
It's
Yeah.
a punch card.
No free sub for you. Oh
So
my
it's like,
god.
but I don't ever call out sick, and
Right.
if I call out sick because I am sick, I'm gonna get in trouble for it. That's pretty much what the scenario happened at my old workplace, and eventually I had pink eye one weekend, right, and it was already recovering, and I still went into work, and because I don't want to get in trouble,
Yeah.
because if I call out sick, they'll give me points, and then I went to work, and it was already recovering, and my new supervisor came by, and he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And then I was like, "Oh, I had pink eye over the weekend, but it's recovering." And then he was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna write you up."
And then you fought him, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he was like,
Wait,
I was
you
like,
actually fought
"Why?"
him? What?
Dude, HR was on my
For
ass
what?
about that too. HR was
Yeah.
against me.
HR is never on your side.
Yeah, it's on
There's
the
Yeah.
HR is on company side, no matter what. But
never one.
anyways, so um, I was already recovering, and so I was like, okay, well, that doesn't seem fair. And he was like, well, you need to go home. And then I was like, okay. And then I'm gonna write you up for going home too. And then I was like, what?
Logic.
Yeah. And then I left, but I went to nurse first, and then the nurse was against me too. And he was like, well, it doesn't matter. If you're sick, according to the policy, you're supposed to call out. And I was like, but if I call out, I'm gonna get in trouble. And it's like, well, uh, then that's kind of like how it is. That's how the policy is written. And I was like, wow, this is like not fair. And then I went out, and then one of my coworkers called me and was telling me that he was going to give me 3 points. And I was like, dude, this is outrageous, man. And I called the HR. HR was like, yep, it's written right here in the policy. If you're sick, don't come to work. And then it's just like everything is against you. Like I'm an honest worker, and I'm never sick. And the time that I am sick, uh, and I'm recovering. Okay, don't give me this. I'm recovering. It's already like it's not even pink no more, but it still hurts my eye. And so, uh, that's how I ended up quitting, because like I felt like, why are they so on me whenever like I usually follow the rules?
That's
I don't know, man.
ridiculous. That is some. Oh my god. That's yeah. See, that's rough. That's yeah. How can we be worried about a new variant when we have employers like that who put you on a point system for calling in sick? Not even
That's
calling in sick, just being sick and showing up to work. them sending you home and then punishing you for following orders.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, that's not worth it. That's not worth it.
It was
Yeah, no,
something else.
yeah, that's. Oof. Um,
Like I even
Sun-
told them before I came in too, and they're like, "It's okay." One of them was like, "It's okay, just come in." It's my better supervisor. This supervisor was a dickhead. Like I don't know if he got fired or not, but a week later, he doesn't work there no more. The
You had
story
two
is
supervisors?
huh?
You said one was good and the other one was bad. You had two supervisors?
Yeah, it was before he came on because our department changed into a different department, and so he started being the supervisor. But low key, I think he was racist. And what's it called when
Bias.
when I'm older than you and you're younger than me and you don't know anything?
Stupid?
Oh, I
Normal?
guess ageism. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, ages.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
Ageism only works the other way. You can only be ageist to people who are old. That's.
Oh, really?
I'm not messing with you. Like ageism is literally written as any type of discrimination to somebody based on how old they are, and by old it means if they're older. You can discriminate against somebody who is young. You cannot discriminate against somebody who is.
What the fuck?
Isn't that what's happening
Wait,
here?
I worded that wrong. I worded that wrong. You can or are allowed to discriminate against people who are young. You are not allowed to discriminate against people who are old. You have to treat people older as perfect, all this. But younger people, you can screw off and whatnot.
Oh, because what he came up with was, well, he actually said it himself. He's like, I know you're young and you think you could do whatever you want, and I'm just like, what?
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 Yeah, because like he told me to clean the room, right? But before that, he
Nice.
told me to clean the whole area, and I did clean the whole area. But then the get this, there's two teams, okay? There's two teams. We work when they're off, and they work when we're off. And he doesn't tell the other team to do anything because they're older.
Nice.
Oh
So
boy. Yeah.
isn't that ageist? It's like just because I'm young, I have to do more work for less pay. It's like, huh?
Nope.
I don't know.
Not legally. Legally, it's not
Legally.
considered ageism.
Dang, man.
I mean,
No, I agree. It's
ethically,
nonsense. But
it sounds like it, but it doesn't matter about the ethics.
exactly.
I don't know, dude.
um,
I'm just glad I got out of that hellhole. That's all I gotta say.
good for you.
You were so close to
talk
10
about-
points.
Dude,
So
I really
close.
was actually.
Yeah.
Because I
Free-
was sick a couple times during those times, but I don't know how people get away with it. Like my friend, he calls out sick like 20 times and he doesn't get any points. This is FMLA thing, but he doesn't even do it that either. So I'm assuming it's part of the union, that he's close with the union or something. I don't even know.
Maybe he has
But
I mean,
two
the point
punch cards.
system sounds horribly illegal anyway, but we're not going to get into that.
oh, they just
That's-
implemented that year. They just did the point system that year. Before then, there wasn't no point system.
Maybe he has two punch
Yeah.
cards. He just alternates.
yeah, maybe. yeah, he brings in a clean punch card.
You
I love
sure?
it. That's
Yeah.
horrible. Oh yeah, union would help against that. Oh my god.
Nah, the union hated me for no reason whatsoever, man.
Were you in the union?
No, I didn't want to join a union.
Why
'cause
they,
it-
that's why
Wow.
they hated you.
That's why they hate you. You're
No,
not-
because the dude came up to me and was a
Not paying
dickhead.
dues.
You're not paying them, so why would
No. First off, before he even came up to me on my first day, he started saying bad things about me already, and like he wouldn't share any information with me. And he's
Oh.
like, "Oh, you're not in a union." That's the first thing he ever said, and it's like, but how am I going to be appealed to the union if you're not giving me something to work off of? But he just like, "Oh, you're not in a union. I can tell you anything," and it's like, okay, I guess this is how the union is. And then like I was listening to other people, and they're like, "Yeah, the union doesn't do shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, he won't tell me anything to convince me that the union is good, and like the people in the union don't even like the union, so
Yeah.
it's like, what's the motivation for me to join there?
Yeah, not much when it gets. Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of everything. You get people
Yeah.
with power, bad people get into power and then they ruin things. That like unions have good purposes, but yeah, if it falls apart after a while if you don't have the right people making decisions for it. Damn, that's a shame. What was I gonna say? Oh, well, apparently this new COVID variant might not be as, or the boosters might not be effective against it, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've pretty much gotten to the habit of getting my flu shot, getting a COVID shot, getting a pneumonia shot, and just accept the fact that I just get those every year.
Wait, this is a
So-
pneumonia shot?
So yeah, there's a pneumonia shot.
I never got that.
Well,
I never knew about it.
have fun with pneumonia. No, don't worry about it. That might just be a me thing because I actually had pneumonia at some point. So I don't know. I just go to the doctor's office and let them stick me with needles. It's not a big deal. I don't care.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Just
Yeah.
Wow.
give it to
Yeah.
me. Look, man, on the off chance that they give me something that gives me superpowers, all right, I think I'm just gonna swing it. All right.
You
So-
ever finish filling up your punch card of vaccines?
Man, you guys are gonna be laughing when I'm flying around, freaking
gotta-
like Superman.
You didn't
Uh-huh.
finish your
Catch them
pack?
all.
That's right. I'm gonna be like, haha, suckers, should have got your 15 COVID shot.
15 went free.
Could've That's right. You could have been flying around like me, but no, you're all anti-vaccine. Give me that sweet, sweet juice. Give me that Wi-Fi from my head. That's
Just-
right.
And then they shut you off one day
That's-
for no reason.
Yeah, well, I probably deserved it.
Wow.
Oh, I'm charging my phone from my hand. That's right.
Nice.
100% power all the time.
Nice.
Oh god. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Anything else?
We'll see. Nope,
Brandon?
it's pretty good.
Not really. COVID's kind of dead to me. Not in the sense that it's not
Nice choice
real,
of words.
but I feel like it's exaggerated, man.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good place to stop.
Next one in VR chat.
Okay, well, thank you
I might be
all, and see ya.
Arrivederci.
Be doop.